Good morning, yogis. It's me, Mike, on my back deck here in Anchorage. Just finishing a cup of coffee. Nice sunny morning. The birds are singing. The buds are popping out on the trees. And I've got a hat on today. My wife actually yesterday gave me a coronavirus haircut out in the front yard. So I'm sporting that, but if I don't have a hat, I can't see anything. So this is we'll see how it goes here with yoga today with a hat on. But just to say, you can actually do yoga anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a studio. It doesn't have to be indoors. You can do it outside. You can do it really anywhere. We'll see if it's raining sometime and I do it out here. That would be interesting, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, today is May. It's spring. It feels like spring. Spring officially hadn't arrived yet in Alaska, but it sure feels warm and springy on the back deck here. So my plan today is to put together a sequence of heart openers, chest openers, some balance, and just some kind of standing poses in Ayurvedic medicine, which is like a 6,000-year-old kind of Chinese, Indian type of way to address your body, your health of your body, where yoga addresses more. Yoga is really for the mind. That's the second sutra is Chitta, Vritta, Nirodha, which is calming the fluctuations of the mind. Ayurveda is more for the body, but the two systems complement each other one-on-one. So in the springtime, we're coming out of Vata season in the winter, coming into Kapha season in the spring, and it's all about growth and energy and getting the fluids moving and opening up your heart, opening things up. That's why the leaves start to open. That's why the sap's flowing through the trees. Things start to move again. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a little bit of movement and just have fun. So today, I actually have my bolster with me today. So we're going to do a little bit of work with the bolster. If you don't have grab a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, a pillow would work, a firm pillow. Or if you don't have a pillow that's firm, some blankets would work. You could roll up some blankets and we can do that today. So let's get started. Cheers. And there's no whiskey in here. It's just early in the morning. We're just having a cup of coffee. Okay, we're going to get started today. And we're going to set our bolster on our mat. We're going to come lay on our mat. And I'm going to put the lower edge of my shoulder blades at the lower edge of the bolster. So lower edge of shoulder blades, lower edge of the bolster. And then lean back over the bolster. Arms can be wherever you like the arms. And for me, my head comes down. So it opens up the throat chakra. My legs are engaged, toes directly toward the sky. One hand on belly, one hand on heart. If this doesn't feel good to you because of your head, and I'm kind of realizing that myself right now, turn your bolster lengthwise, come back and put the bolster right at your sacrum. So you can do this either way. The objective of this is to open the heart, open the collarbones, spread those collarbones out to where they shine toward the sky. Legs are engaged, feet together, toes toward the sky. And now we're going to breathe. So increase your inhale volume, which means take a big inhale. You tell I'm an engineer, huh? And then big exhale. Hold at the top or bottom. Top and bottom. Hold it both top and bottom. Kumbhaka. Just hold for a count of 2 or 3. Big inhale with a nice slow exhale. It's okay if your exhale is longer than your inhale. The exhale is actually what stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calming nervous system. Get rid of stress, get rid of anxiety. Anytime you're feeling stressed or anxious, just take a deep breath and a nice slow exhale. 3 times. Two more inhales and exhales. And when you're ready, bring your knees up onto the mat and roll over onto one side. You can rest there. And then push yourself up just a little, just enough to turn your bolster sideways, about a third of the way down the mat. There goes the dog. A third of the way down the mat, and then come over the bolster on your side to where your hips are on the mat and your shoulder is on the mat. And if you're doing this with a blanket, you can do this with a blanket, fold your blanket or a pillow, but shoulder on the mat, hip on the mat, legs straight down the length of the mat, and you can rest your head on your arm, or if you have another blanket, which I don't, have another blanket put over your arm for your head to lay on. Then take your upper arm up and over and stretch this upper side body. So we're getting a lateral bend to our upper side body. Legs are engaged. Now breathe into this. Breathe into your right lung, the upper lung toward the sky. Again, big inhale, big exhale. Let that belly come out when you inhale. And then release that. Roll over onto your back. Here we are again in this chest opener. This time, come over the bolster to where your shoulders are on the mat. So the bolster or blanket is more in your lower back. Engage your abdominal muscles to protect your lower back. Just be in this for just a second. And then roll over onto your other side. Straighten up, length down your mat. Shoulder on the mat, hip on the mat. Upper arm up and over. Deep inhale, deep exhale. And then we're going to roll over onto our stomachs on the mat. Place the bolster right underneath your stomach, just above your pelvis. And then come onto the mat. So that your chest is touching the mat. The bolster's underneath your stomach, just above your, well, it's actually across the upper part of your pelvis and below the ribs. Below the ribs, just put the top of the bolster below the ribs. Big inhale, big exhale. And then we're going to push ourselves up. We're going to get rid of that bolster for a minute. We're just going to come to a seated position. And we're going to sit on our mat. We're going to bring left leg straight, right leg up and over. Nice straight spine. From your hips to your crown of your head, nice and straight. And we're going to twist toward this upper knee. Come around your upper knee. You can wrap your elbow around that upper knee or on the outside. Nice straight back. You can support your back with the hand behind you. And then rotate your gaze over your right shoulder. If you're twisting to the right, rotate your gaze over your right shoulder. Then we're going to slowly come back into center. We're going to swap legs. So now my right leg is straight, left leg comes up, and my foot comes over. If your foot doesn't come over, just leave it on the inside of the leg. Come up and over your right leg, up and over. The sole of the upper foot, the sole flat on the mat, toes pointed directly toward the top of the mat. And then I'm going to twist toward the bent leg up on the top. You may need to move a little breakfast, stomach contents, or dinner, or whatever you're doing, whenever you're doing this. For me, I'm recording kind of mid-morning, about 10 o'clock in the morning or thereabouts, 10:30, Mother's Day morning. After my wife made sourdough pancakes this morning. I should have made them for her, but she is keen on doing that. She's making bread too. And then we're going to rotate forward. Soles of our feet are going to come together. Spine nice and straight. Rotate your hips forward. Soles of feet together. Baddha Konasana. You can grab your shins, your ankles, or your feet. And then we're just going to tip forward just a little bit. For me, my flexibility, I can tip forward maybe an inch. Back nice and straight for now. Big inhale. Hold. And big exhale. And then go ahead and round your upper back. Lean forward. Just want to stretch out our upper back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Stretch the back of your neck. And then slowly roll that back up. And then we're going to set our feet about hip width apart out in front of us, and hands come behind. And for this, we're going to do reverse tabletop. So your hand position, put it either with your fingers toward the front of the mat or toward the back of the mat, or even out sideways. It depends what is comfortable in your shoulders and what works for you. So this is more for a back strengthening and flexibility. You're going to engage your abdominal muscles in front, but we're going to use our back muscles to hold us up in to reverse tabletop. So find your position, feet flat on the floor, toes directly forward. Open that chest, open the collarbones, and then when you're ready, on an inhale, hips come up toward the sky, and head comes back. Then we're going to come back down. And for me, I want to adjust the position of my hands a little bit. See how this does. We're going to do it again. Straight, back, come up. And down. We're going to do it one more time. Position your hands. On an inhale, don't forget to breathe when you're up there. Do some good breath, deep breath work. But on an inhale, we're going to open our collarbones. We're going to press our hips toward the sky. Lengthen between your knees and your shoulders. Crown of your head. And then bring it down. As you come down, go ahead and just wrap your arms around your legs and bring your feet together. Wrap your arms around with that big opening. We'll do a counter pose, which is just a forward fold. It's kind of like a sitting child's pose, forward fold over your knees. Then we're going to release that. Bring our hands just behind us, fingers forward, broad chest, open that chest. We're not going to come up in the tabletop this time. We're going to do Navasana, boat pose. So we're going to bring our feet up, hands are for balance, or if you like, you can release your hands, come up in the boat pose. Shins parallel with the floor, or you can extend your knees straight, or you can do a dynamic. Pull it, bend the knees in, straighten them out. Your knees in, straighten out. It's kind of like rowing a boat. Boat pose. Now roll off to one side. Roll off to the other side. Get the transverse abdominis working. The obliques. Five more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put it all down. Breathe, just relax. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. That's a good warm-up. Feels good to warm up to me anyway. Okay, now, while you're sitting on your mat, we're going to interlace our fingers out in front of us. Reverse your palms away from you, so you're looking at the back of your hands. Hands come up, and we're just going to twist to the right. Arms come up overhead again, and twist to the left. Arms come up overhead again. This time interlace your fingers one over, out in front of you. Come up. This time arms just out to your side, and then twist left, twist right, come back, twist left, twist right, hands in, interlace your fingers again, and we're going to do a little wave. A smooth wave. Reverse that wave. Good. And then hands down to your side. It's great if you have a bolster, you can sit up on that bolster or blanket. It's nice when you're sitting actually, and I don't have the flexibility in my hips yet, but you may never have with the anatomy. But to have your knees below the top of your hips, it's more comfortable. That way, it aligns the chakras in your spine, and it allows your spine to become straight and more in the natural curvature of your spine. So there we go. Now, I'm going to tip my head to the left. My right arm comes out. Left hand up and over just to stabilize the head. I just want to stretch the neck muscles a little bit. You can slowly turn your head, look at the floor in front of you. Come back up. With the help of your hand, push your head back up in the center. And then just shrug your shoulders up and back. Either forward or backward. Maybe a little bit of both. Loosen up the trapezius muscles right on top of your shoulders. And the rhomboids and back. Then we're going to tip our head to the right shoulder. Left hand comes out. That's just so that the energy flow is like from our fingertips up and through our shoulder, through our neck, out the top of our head. Right hand comes up and over the head just to stabilize the head. Don't pull traction. Then you can rotate your gaze down toward the floor a little bit. Just brings a little more stretch into the back of that neck muscle, the sternocleidomastoid. And then rotate your gaze back forward with the help of that hand. Bring that head back up. And shrug your shoulders right up by your ears, and then just let them down the back. You can do a forward, back, down, and then go back, up, forward, and down. Whichever way you want to rotate your shoulders. But open up those collarbones, open up the chest muscles. These are the pectoralis muscles are right across your upper chest. Just broaden those out, stretch those pectoralis. We're always seems to be hunched over doing stuff. So now we want to open up our collarbones, open up the pectoralis muscles, give them some air. Let the heart breathe today. Okay, now slowly make your way to standing. Get rid of our props. And we're just going to come to standing. So I'm going to just face the top edge of my mat. Find your groundedness, your grounding point. Your feet are hip width apart. And think about, how are you attached to the earth today? How are you attached to Mother Earth? What do you feel in your body right now? Let's just do a body scan. From your feet, what do you feel in your feet? Come up through your lower leg, your upper legs. Are your muscles tense or are they relaxed? Your pelvis, your abdominal muscles, is that relaxed or is it all tensed up? Your back muscles, same thing. Just be aware of your body. How about your shoulders? Are they hunched up by your ears or are your shoulder blades down your back? Just relax your shoulder blades down your back. Your arms, your fingers, your wrists, your hands. Shake them out. Relax them. And your head, your neck, your jaw, your eyes, your ears. And how about your scalp, the top of your head? Just pay attention. Good. Now I just want to bring my gaze and my attention into a mountain pose. Engage our thighs, engage our glutes. Lower ribs down, shoulders back and down, chin parallel. Arms come up overhead, and we're going to do a lateral bend to the left, legs straight, arms back up, lateral bend to the right. Come up. We're going to swan dive down now into Uttanasana. Keep your back nice and straight. Bend your knees, back straight. Come down all the way to Uttanasana, forward fold.
You can grab your elbows and maybe give it the elephant, kind of right and left, opening up that torso a little bit. Then we're going to come halfway up, nice straight back, and then hands down to the mat. We're going to step back into downward facing dog. Bend your knees such that your back is straight from your pelvis, your sacrum to your shoulders. It's not about your hamstrings, this pose. This pose is about the alignment of your back. Now, right leg comes up, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, stack your right hip on top of your left, fire hydrant pose. Hold that. Your toes are dorsiflexed on that upper leg back toward your knee. Get that knee as high as you can. And then rotate back, straighten that leg, and bring it back down. Reset your downward dog. Maybe you want to walk your dog a little bit. And when you're ready, balance on that right foot. Left leg comes up. Three-legged dog. Bend that left leg. Rotate, stack your left hip on top of your right hip. Keep your shoulders as square as you can to the front of the mat. Dorsiflex that upper foot back towards your knee. Hold that, breathe. Rotate back, straighten that knee. Come back into a downward facing dog. Good, hold that dog. I'll take 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Then we're going to step our right leg forward. We're going to come down on our left knee. Nice and easy today. We're going to come up, the low lunge, arms behind you, engage your abdominal muscles. And then when you come forward, we're going to straighten that forward leg. Now, Parsvottanasana thing, so now we're getting our hamstring here. You want more on the hamstring, pull this foot back towards your hips. That stretches your calf and your hamstring even more. Now come forward. This time when you come forward, bring that foot to the outside edge of your mat. Hands come to the inside edge. And then we're going to come forward into a forward lunge. Open up that psoas muscle on your left. And the right knee, just drop it out to the side. I don't know if you can see that in the video. Just lay it out to the side. Roll out onto the outside edge of that front foot, your right foot. That knee just goes out, so we're just opening up that right hip, kind of like we were in Baddha Konasana earlier. Bring that hip back in, and then come back in to a neutral tabletop. Do a little cat-cow here, back toward the sky. Inhale, belly down, gaze forward. Exhale, back toward the sky. Inhale, belly forward. Now we're going to bring that left leg forward. And we're going to come up with our arms toward the sky. Engage your abdominal muscles. Low lunge. Kind of like a warrior one with the back knee down. When you come back down, we're going to come into Parsvottanasana. So we're going to straighten that forward leg, stretch that hamstring. Again, if you like more, you can dorsiflex this forward foot back. When you come forward, just walk that foot to the outside edge of your mat. Hands come to the inside edge. My hands are a little bit forward, where kind of like my knuckles are right around where the front of my toes are. And then come forward, so I open up that right psoas, and my left knee now, instead of being vertical, it just drops out to the side, just like that. I roll out onto the outside edge of my forward foot, my left foot. My weight, though, is supported by my hands, so I don't have a lot of weight on that pelvis, almost nothing. It's just working its way out just to stretch the hip flexor muscles. And then bring it back in, and then come back in to a neutral tabletop. We're just going to wag the tail, look over your left shoulder, look over your right shoulder. Just wag her back and forth a little bit, a little organic movement. Maybe you do a barrel roll with your hips, first one way, then the other way. Then we're going to push our hands out. We're going to come back up into a downward facing dog. And now we're going to walk our hands back toward our feet. Walk your hands back toward your feet. Come into Uttanasana, halfway up. Hold, now nice straight back. Clasp your hands behind your back. Push to the wall behind you with your hands, and come up nice straight back, straight spine. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Very good. Okay, now we're going to move into some balance poses because I want to get into dancer and candy cane today as our kind of our peak poses today. So not so much about focus on the muscles today. Sometimes I focus on a muscle group. Today I'm going to focus on dancer, but really the focus today is opening up the heart openers. So we're going to stand here. First we're going to do tree pose because I got trees are blooming, not blooming, but leaves are coming out in the trees all around me, except for the spruce, which have needles, not leaves. We're going to put our weight on our left leg. Right leg comes up. I'm actually going to step off this squishy mat. Right leg comes up just below my knee. Don't put it on your knee, below your knee, or it can come above your knee. Arms in, find a focal point. Arms come up above your head, or they can be out to the side. They can be at heart center, wherever you like. And then let that go. Good. I'm going to step back behind my mat because I got cut off there on the video. Cut off the top of my head. Now we're going to engage our right leg. We're going to anchor and ground through that right leg. Left leg comes up. Arms in. Bring this hip. The wind's blowing me a little bit here. I step back, now I'm getting more wind around from the side of the house. Bring that right hip in. Let's see if I can. And then hands come up. There we go. Got a lull in the wind there. That was just a gust that came by. Right hip in. Get high to the crown of your head. And then let that go. Very good. Okay, now I just want to do a triangle pose. I was looking at some poses by Sarah Joy Marsh this morning, and I noticed her triangle pose. Now she's been doing yoga. She's a lot of you probably know who she is. She's a world-renowned yoga teacher. She's been up here. She lives in Portland, Oregon. But she's been up here to Alaska doing workshops several times. She's written books, and she teaches. She does yoga teacher training, does retreats, all this kind of thing. So, to me, she's a respected yoga authority. Now, I was noticing her position in triangle pose. So we're going to come to the top of our mat. We'll take our left leg, step our left leg back, but maybe not too far.
maybe we're not too extended today. Bring your, whatever your triangle pose is here today, I would say bring it in just a notch. Line your front heel with your back heel. And that's another thing that Sarah Joy Marsh says is the alignment of your feet. She likes the front heel aligned with the back heel. Sometimes we align our front heel with the back arch. So I would say whatever feels comfortable with you, with your hips, that's your alignment. So our legs are straight. Our arms then come up parallel with our feet. So look at your back arm, see if you're aligned, and then we reach forward, but we're not going to go down very far. Our right hand comes above our knee on our leg, and when we rotate, I like to just, Lydia told me to suggested fingers in the linea alba right below your sternum, encourage that twist. And Sarah Joy Marsh, she actually kept her hand on her waist, or you can raise that hand. But notice I'm not leaning over very far. Let me just turn sideways a little bit. So my normal pose would be really to extend and see if I can get down. What I learned from her today is she's more like this, which is kind of a workshop Dennis Egan that I went to with Dennis Egan, who said yoga for sustainability. Keep your side bodies long. I noticed on Sarah Joy Marsh, both her side bodies, her upper body was not, she wasn't leaning over like doing a lateral bend. She straightened her upper side body parallel to her lower side body. Yeah, Dennis Egan, sustainability. Don't go to your full limit. Bend that forward knee, come up out of that. Don't go to your full limit. Just go to about 75, 80%. And you'll have a sustained, longer sustained yoga practice and life than if you went right to your edge every time, which threatens an injury. So now we're going to come in a triangle pose on the other side, align my front heel with my back heel. Again, a little bit narrower stance than normal. Arms come up. And then let me just rotate a little bit. Arms come up, reach forward, but not too far down. Don't go too far down. Keep your hand above your knee. Rotate, stack right shoulder on top of left shoulder. Right side body and left side body parallel. For me, what that means is drop the front hip, drop that front hip so I can lengthen that upper side body. In order to drop that front hip, put weight in your front toes on the ball of that front foot. That helps to soften that front hip crease. Drop that front hip, raise that back hip, lengthen that lower side body, and drop this upper side body down to lengthen the lower side body. And then bend that front knee, come up and out of that, and come into a wide-legged, we're in a wide-legged, just rotate your toes forward, hands to heart center. So that was a Sarah Joy Marsh triangle pose. You can look at her website. She's got other poses on there that we can always learn from. She does have online classes too. So now we're going to put our hands on our hips. Just going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So back nice and straight. And we're just going to rotate at the hips. Come into a forward fold. Wide-legged forward fold. Maybe your hands come to the floor. Maybe they come just onto your shins. Or maybe just your upper legs. Maybe your forward fold is just not that deep today. Talking about sustainability. And then both hands come over to your left shin
or your left knee, your left thigh. We're just doing a left twist to your left leg. And lengthen your side bodies on this. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Nice adductor stretch on the inside of your thigh. Nice hamstring stretch. Now we're just going to walk our hands over to the right leg. Do the same thing on the right side. And feel the adductor muscles getting a nice stretch. The hamstring muscles getting a nice stretch. Then we're going to come back into center. Clasp your hands behind your back, one finger over from normal. Push the hands behind you. Hinge at the hips, come up with a nice straight back. Good. And then bring your feet together and then just shake it all out. Just like a big dog. Shake it all out. Good. Okay, now we're going to come into our dancer and candy cane. For this, I'm going to use the railing. And you can use a wall, you can use a chair, or if you like a challenge, just use the ground. You don't need to use anything necessarily. But I like to use something so that my focus is not necessarily just on balance. You're still going to get balance, but I want to experience the opening of the chest, the opening of the heart, our focus today. So I'm just going to use the railing. I'm going to stand next to the railing, kind of facing it a little bit. Engage my right leg, ground through my right leg. Left leg comes up and comes right behind me. Grab my ankle, align my knees. The bent knee is not out to the side. It's right next to my right thigh. Keep the left thigh next to the right thigh. And then rotate at the hips, come forward. Dancer, arms come up and over, and then engage that, and we're opening our left chest, our left heart body, more so than the right, and then push into that back leg and really open that thing up. Push into it with your leg, not really pulling with your arm, but push into it with your leg to where you can open that up. Push that knee behind you as far as possible, in other words. Sustainability, 75%. And then come back, rotate your hips up, let go of that ankle, shake that out. Good. And then I'm just going to turn around, come to the other side, grab my right ankle as I ground through my left leg. Keep my right knee next to my left knee. Maybe the hand comes up as I rotate forward in the dancer pose. This is where I'm just going to grab the railing as I push this leg back. Maybe you can see that as I push that knee back. I'm using the strength of my leg. All my hand is doing is just holding my ankle in. I'm just pushing with my leg, and that's actually the psoas muscle that's doing a lot of that work. The glute muscles and the psoas muscle. Dancer pose. If you want a balance, bring that hand off the rail. But focus on that right upper chest, like collarbone, expanding out. Shoulder blades down the back. And then rotate back up into vertical. Release that leg. And then just shake it out. And walk around a little bit. And just see where you're at. There comes that wind is just coming around the edge of the house. Storm coming in, I think. Might rain tomorrow. Not today. Nice and sunny. Okay, now I'm just going to get rid of this mat a little bit because I'm not using it. Now we're going to come into our peak pose, which is a full expression of candy cane, which is a rotated dancer pose with a full back bend, full chest opener. So as you come into a back bend, as I always say, whenever you do a back bend, engage your abs. It protects your lower back. So your position as we were in the first dancer. Bring your left leg up. Grab that ankle. Back nice and straight. Back stays straight until you rotate forward at the hips. And then I'm going to rotate to where I open up that upper leg, the left leg, horizontally. I'm stacking my left shoulder on top of my right shoulder. You can come down as much as feels good. And I'm really getting and now I'm into a back bend as well. So I'm arching my back. Open up that chest, really open up that chest. This is where hanging on some really helps. So you can really focus on that chest opener. And then rotate back facing the ground, rotate to vertical, and release that leg. Good. Feel like a candy cane? Okay. Shake that out. And we'll come to the other side. Round through that left leg. Right leg comes up. Grab that ankle. Come into your dancer. Grab the railing, grab the wall, chair, whatever you have. And then when you're ready, just open up like a flower blooming in the spring. Stack your right shoulder on top of your left. Pull that knee back with your strength of your leg like we're doing in dancer to where you come into a full back bend, engaging your abdominal muscles. Come into a back bend where you're really opening up that chest. Shoulder blades down your back so they're not shrugging up by your ears. Shoulder blades down your back. Lengthen. Breathe into this. Inhale and exhale. Maybe on an exhale you get a little bit deeper, but again, sustainability. Don't go right to your edge. You don't want to pull a hamstring or something else. And then rotate back into your dancer. Come up to vertical and release that leg. Very good. We're going to try this one more time. Now that you know where we're going. So shake it all out. Come over on the first side. Come up into your dancer. Rotate the hips. And then stack your shoulders. Come into candy cane. I really like this one of my favorite poses because it incorporates a lot of elements. It incorporates balance, abdominal engagement, a back bend, flexibility in your adductors, push that back leg back, strengthen your glutes, and then rotate back, down, and forward. Good. Shake all that out. Turn around the other side. Plant your grounded foot, my left foot this time. My right foot comes up. Come into your dancer. We rotate forward. And then open that up. Maybe your torso comes a little more parallel with the floor when you get it open. Depends on your hip flexibility again. That's why we did Baddha Konasana, to help open up that hip a little bit. Push that back leg back to really open up that back bend. Engage your abdominal muscles. Open up that back bend. Push that back leg back so we're not crunching our lower back, our lumbar. Just open that up. Broad through the collarbones. And then rotate back into your dancer. come up to vertical and release. Good. Now just rotate around with your hips and do the hula. If I had a hula hoop, I haven't done that in a bunch of years. We're just going to take our hips right around. Good. Shake out the right leg, shake out the left leg, right arm shakes out, left arm shakes out, shoulders shake out, the hips shake out, neck shakes out, everything's shaking out. Good. Shake it out. Okay, now we're going to come down onto our mat. Position this so we can see it. Come down onto the mat. And feet forward. And just come in forward. Wrap your hands right around your knees. And just come forward into a nice, nice protective forward fold. Inhale, exhale. And then on inhale, grab your knees and just rotate right back onto your back. Your knees come into your chest. Take your knees, hands on your knees, draw circles on the ceiling, on the sky. Go the other way. Come into happy baby. Release that happy baby. Feet down to the mat. Arms out to the side. Straighten your left leg the length of your mat. Right leg comes up in the tabletop. Push that right knee right toward the ceiling, toward the sky, and come over to your left for a twist to the left. Put your left hand on top of your left knee, your right shoulder, my right shoulder comes up off the mat, and I'm just going to take my right hand and place it right on my right hip. You can leave it out if you like that, if that feels good for your shoulder as well. Just a twist to the left. Nice deep inhale, deep exhale. And with the help of your left hand, with that knee, roll back on the back of your mat. Straighten your right leg out the length of your mat, left leg up in the tabletop, arms out of T position. Push that left knee toward the sky, come up and over, to the right, and then your left hand can come onto your hip. It neutralizes that shoulder, or it can hang out to the side if it feels good. To again, open up that collarbone, that left collarbone, open up that left chest, open up that left heart. If that feels good, you can leave that arm behind you, left arm behind you. Last little bit of heart opener. Then with your right hand, help your left knee back up and over. Come straight back on your mat. And now, this is where you're going to grab your bolster or your blanket or your pillows, line them up the length of your mat. Come back on. We're going to come into Shavasana now. And one more chest opener. As we open up the series today, I'm just going to snug this up to my sacrum, the bolster to my sacrum, nice straight back, and I just come right back onto it. Arms out to your side, my head still on the bolster. Get your props set up in a position where it feels good
to open your chest. Maybe what you do is you take a blanket, just roll a blanket up into a long tube, a long roll, and put that right underneath your spine. That works really good. It's real gentle. And then snug that blanket up against your sacrum and roll back onto it so your head's still on the blanket, just like the bolster is under me. And we come into Shavasana. Relax all your muscles. Let your toes fall out to the side. External rotation. Let your shoulders relax. Let your abdominal muscles relax. Now a little body scan, like we started. But this time we're going to scan for relaxation. So as I go through each body part, just relax it. My feet are relaxed. My calves are relaxed. My kneecaps are relaxed. My thighs are relaxed. All the muscles around my hips are relaxed. My abdominal muscles on my stomach are relaxed. My back muscles are relaxed. My pectoralis muscles just below the collarbones are relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. Your elbows should be on the ground, on the floor, they're relaxed. My hands are totally relaxed. My neck is relaxed. My jaw is relaxed. My ears are relaxed. My forehead is relaxed. And the top of my head is totally relaxed. My brain is relaxed. My heart is relaxed. My spirit is relaxed. I have friendly thoughts and compassion for everyone. I have love for my mother, for the mother of my children. And I have love for all mothers in the world on this Mother's Day. Thanks for joining me today for our yoga. You can stay in Shavasana if you like. And thanks for joining me on these yoga YouTube videos. You can subscribe to my channel to see all my videos. I've got maybe 7 of them out there now with this one. And you can leave comments if you like. Put my hands in the heart center. Loving thoughts, loving words, loving heart. Namaste.